So starting this YouTube channel is hands down the single best thing I've ever done in my life. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 10 tips on how you can get started with setting up your own channel if that's what you're into. Coming in at number 10, we have don't worry about what other people will say. I always ask this question. I ask the question on Twitter and on Instagram, and I ask people, what are your fears about starting on YouTube and what do you want to know? And the number one complaint is always, I'm worried about what my friends and family will think. I've been running a course called the Part-Time YouTuber Academy where we have people who are sort of aged from 18 up to like 55. And basically everyone in that age range also worries about what their friends and family will think. But you know what? The thing that everyone realizes is that once you've uploaded your first video, all of that fear kind of goes away because you realize that no one gives a shit. Like no one actually cares whether you're uploading videos to YouTube. You might think it's like the biggest deal in the world that, oh my God, what is my mum gonna say? What are my cousins gonna say? What are my friends in university gonna say? But no one actually cares. Everyone is just so worried about their own lives that the fact that I'm doing YouTube, no one cares. The fact that you're gonna start a YouTube channel talking about whatever you want, no one cares. And we just need to get that into our heads. And this is such a common fear and we all have it. And it's just the first thing you have to get over. Basically, no one cares. Stop deluding yourself into thinking that people are thinking about you because everyone is just worried about themselves. They're worried about how they are appearing to other people. There's this thing in psychology called the spotlight effect, which is that we all walk through life thinking that there is a spotlight trained on us and just not realizing that everyone else is absorbed in their own life and we are only the heroes of our own story and we are supporting cast in everyone else's story if they're even thinking about us at all. So start your YouTube channel, do not worry about what people will think. 99% of the fear is in just before you publish your first video. But I promise you, as soon as you hit publish on that video, 99% of the fear will disappear and you will stop worrying what people think. Then at point number 9, we have gear doesn't matter at the start. Gear does matter in the long run, but at the start, gear does not matter at all. When I started my YouTube channel, I started filming on my iPhone. I did not have any microphone attached to it. I literally just got the camera, lay in bed, pointed at myself and said, hey guys, I'm thinking I'm gonna start some kind of vlog. I knew absolutely nothing about editing. I just followed free YouTube tutorials about how to edit videos. And that's what you have to do when you're getting started. It's like, if you're starting learning how to write, it doesn't matter what pen you're using, as long as you're writing something. If you're getting started learning how to draw, it does not matter what pencil and what paper you're using. That's all a distraction. What you need to do is just pick up any old pencil you've got lying or pen that you've got lying around the house, any old piece of paper or scrap paper, and just start learning from day one. It's the same thing with YouTube, really. If you're watching this, you have a device which is capable of recording video. You have your phone. If you want to get started on YouTube, screw the gear. Don't think, oh, I need to wait to upgrade to a fancy ass camera before I'm allowed to get started on YouTube. Start with whatever you have, start with your phone, and you can always upgrade later. And in fact, over there is a video where I talk about exactly how to start filming videos with just your iPhone. And it looks pretty reasonable. If you do want to upgrade something, then upgrade your audio quality firstly, because people will sit through a bad video quality, but no one will sit through bad audio quality. So that's the first thing to upgrade. And if you want to learn more about exactly which gear to upgrade and like a shopping list for gear at different levels, you should definitely sign up to my Part-Time YouTuber free 7-day email course. This is totally free. You just enter your email address and then every day I will email you with a long ass article which contains lots of tips about getting started on YouTube. And one of those in the 7-day course is about exactly what gear you need to upgrade and in which order. And I give you different levels for gear at different budget levels. So again, that'll be linked in the video description if you want to check it out. Again, totally free, just 7 days of emails from me where I give you my top tips on getting started on YouTube as a beginner. Point number 8, we have don't worry about the numbers. Once you've started on YouTube, this is a mistake everyone makes, is that you way too focused on the analytics. But at the start, like, it doesn't really matter. The only thing you have to do is just keep on producing more and more and more videos and not really worry about the fact that no one is watching them and that you're not getting very many subscribers. If you look at the stats, according to TubeBuddy, the average channel with 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers has made 152 videos. So until you've made 152 videos, you do not have the right to complain that you're not growing on YouTube. You have to make 152 videos first, and then we can think about how to tweak your growth prospects on YouTube. For me, it took me 52 videos and 6 months to hit 1,000 subscribers. That was making 2 videos a week, 6 months in a row, while I was a full-time medical student at Cambridge, while preparing for my final year medical student exams. 2 videos a week, 6 months, and then I hit 1,000 subscribers. And so at the very least, if you've made anything less than 52 videos, then don't worry about your subscriber count. You can always email me for advice or sign up to my YouTube Part-Time YouTuber mailing list and reply to emails on that. You can always email me for advice further down the line, but I can't give you any advice until you've made at least 52 videos. That's just how it works. All right, point number 7 is this idea of stacking the deck in your favor. So we've established that you're going to start your channel and you're just going to do it and not care about what people think. But to succeed on YouTube, you want to think in terms of stacking the deck. How do you take the deck and how do you stack it in your favor? Now, the extent to which you should stack the deck depends on how you're thinking about YouTube. If you're thinking about YouTube purely as a hobby, where you don't actually care about the numbers and you're thinking, oh, it would be nice to make money from this further down the line, but it's not my primary aim right now, then that's great. You don't need to worry about stacking the deck in your favor. But if, like a lot of students in our course, the Part-Time YouTuber Academy, you're thinking of YouTube more as a business opportunity, so the more business, entrepreneurial, people-minded end of the spectrum, you then want to think about, how do I stack the deck to try and grow on YouTube, or to try and achieve my goals for YouTube, as effectively as possible? And there's broadly two ways of stacking the deck. You can stack the deck in terms of time, or you can stack the deck in terms of money. How do you stack the deck in terms of time? Well, it involves putting in the time to learn how to get better on camera, which happens over time as you make more and more videos. It involves putting in the time to get better at editing videos. Again, it happens as you just produce more and more videos. I've got a friend called James Johnny who has grown from 0 to 500,000 plus subscribers on YouTube by making like 10 or 12 videos or something stupid like that, because he spends hundreds of hours editing each one to make it, craft it into a perfect Netflix documentary style video. He is stacking the deck in his favor by spending large amounts of time, hundreds and hundreds of hours, writing, scripting, and editing his videos. The other way of stacking the deck in your favor is by using money. Now, we're not going to talk about this because this is a more advanced point, but for example, you can invest in gear. And number two, you can invest in hiring your own team, which is now what I've done. And actually, a lot of people don't realize that you can outsource video editing for quite cheaply very early on. And so especially if you have a job where your time is worth, let's say, more than $10 an hour, you can easily outsource video editing to someone who you're paying less than $10 an hour to, if you want, as a way of stacking the deck in your favor by using money. Again, that's a bit of an advanced point. We'll talk about that more in my Part-Time YouTuber free email course, so sign up in the video description if you want to check that out. But yeah, that's kind of how I think about it. Like, there are no guaranteed formulae to success on YouTube, but really it's all about stacking the deck in your favor in whatever way you can, depending on what your goals for YouTube are. Are you a hobbyist or are you an entrepreneur business person? I'm somewhere in the middle, leaning kind of towards the business side, so I do whatever I can to stack the deck in my favor. Point number 6, use your unfair advantages. Now, I've got a secret 3-part formula for success on YouTube, and in fact, success in anything in life. And that is success equals work multiplied by luck multiplied by unfair advantages. Now, work, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the time and the effort to do this. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere. Luck, you are kind of reliant. You do have to get a little bit lucky. But the good thing about luck is that the more videos you put out, the higher the odds that any one of them will get picked up by the algorithm and will start to go viral. And in fact, for my channel, it's only been like 2 or 3 videos in the last 3.5 years that have gone really viral, that have really propelled channel growth. Everything else has been fairly average, fairly mediocre. So that was work and luck. But the third component of the success equation is unfair advantages. What are the unfair advantages that you have that you can exploit in your YouTube channel or in whatever you're doing? For me, my unfair advantage was that I was a medical student and I was at Cambridge University. Those are pretty big unfair advantages because the niche that I was targeting was people applying to study medicine at Cambridge University. I was not trying to be a makeup influencer. I was not trying to be a fashion influencer or a lifestyle or workout or fitness influencer. None of that would have used my unfair advantage. Maybe the medical student thing if I was actually interested in fitness. But you want to think about, what are the qualities I have? What are the things that other people can't necessarily compete with, even though we don't really want to think about this as a competition? What are the unfair advantages that I have that I can use to help propel my channel? And if at this point you're thinking, well, I don't have any unfair advantages, you should check out a video linked up there, which will be my book club episode of a book called The Unfair Advantage, which is all about the formula to success, where I chat with one of the authors, Hassan, about the 5 different types of unfair advantages. And we talk about how to answer this question of like, well, I don't feel like I have any advantages, because everyone has their unfair advantages. You just have to lean into them. You have to figure out what they are, and then you want to try and weave that into your YouTube channel somehow. Point number 5, focus on quantity rather than quality. It is far more important when you're starting out on YouTube to make 100 really bad videos than to try and make 10 really good videos. Caveat, unless you're going down the James Johnny route of like, putting in hundreds of hours of editing into the videos, that's like a different style. But like, I imagine for most people watching this, your aim is to become a YouTuber that's sort of like me, whereby you can sit in front of a camera and talk about whatever you want, and it's kind of nice, and you share your life and you share your experiences and you do some teaching, rather than to craft a Netflix documentary. But whatever the case, quantity is more important than quality at the start. And there's a nice story that I like, which is the parable of the pottery class. And the story goes that there's a pottery class and the teacher divides the group into 2 different groups. One of the groups has to make a pot every day for 30 days. So by the end of the 30 days, they make 30 pots. Whereas the other group has to focus on a single pot for the whole 30 days. So they only have 1 pot at the end of the 30 days. And then at the end of the 30 days, the teacher kind of brings all the pots together and judges the quality of the pots. And he gives out prizes about whose the best pots were. And every single pot that won a prize came from the quantity group rather than the quality group. Especially when you're getting started out in something, there are so many learnings to be had, improving your own ability to talk to the camera, improving your ability to edit videos, improving your storytelling. All of these happen through quantity rather than through quality. You have to get in the reps. And so my theory on this is that you just have to make 100 videos, make at least 100 videos, and then worry about trying to improve the quality of them. Because by virtue of making 100 videos, you're naturally going to improve the quality of them without even really thinking about it. But the main thing is you've got to get in the reps. It's all about quantity rather than quality at the start. Number 4 is don't really worry about what your niche is. Like, people get hung up on this, like, I don't know what to make videos about. It would be like a writer saying, I don't know what to write about, therefore I'm not going to write. Or like an artist saying, I don't know what my masterpiece is going to be, therefore I'm not going to hold a paintbrush. It's totally okay for your niche to emerge over time. Yes, you can take a very calculating route and plot it out in advance and be like, okay, this is my path. Or you can do what I recommend, which is just start making videos on YouTube about whatever you enjoy, whatever you want. If I was starting on YouTube, I wouldn't really worry about the niche thing. I just think, you know what? Let me make videos about the things that I enjoy, maybe some close-up magic because I'm not a total loser. Maybe like iPhones, maybe like, you know, my favorite pen, maybe like, you know, tips of getting started on YouTube, maybe life as a medical student, maybe like whatever experiences in my life that I enjoy talking about and that I think I could teach on the internet. That is the stuff I would start making videos about. And over time, as you start making videos about things that you enjoy, the audience starts to resonate with some of those things. And so your niche ends up emerging over time. I never thought I would be a productivity YouTuber, but I seem to have become a productivity YouTuber because that niche just sort of emerged over time. It was not forward planned in advance. And so if you've got a lot of interest, if you've got a lot of things you're interested in, or even if you don't know what to talk about on YouTube, just start making stuff and you will figure it out. Don't be one of those writers who says, I don't know what my bestseller book is going to be about, therefore I'm not going to write a single word. It's the same with YouTube. Who cares if you don't know what your niche is? Your niche will change over time. I started off making videos for medical school applicants. I now no longer care about medical school applicants in terms of making videos, and therefore it just sort of changes over time. So don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just make the videos that you enjoy at the start. Point number 3, be patient and be consistent. Those are really the only 2 things that you need for success on YouTube. You need consistency and you need patience. Consistency in publishing at least 1 video a week, and patience in that not worrying about the fact that you're not going to get any traction for a large amount of time. Success on YouTube is absolutely not an overnight thing. And certainly with my channel, you know, for my first like 80 videos, I made no money. And then I started making a few dollars here and there. And with all of these things, like with every good thing in life, it's like a compounding returns curve. And you don't realize it when you're right at the start of the curve because you're not seeing any traction. But 3 years later, if you can stick with publishing 2 videos a week for 3.5 years like I've been doing, you look back and you think, oh my God, you know, my first 100 videos, they were just part of that, getting that flywheel to turn. And really it's all about that consistency, but also having the patience and having the faith that this will pay off in the long run, just not in the short term. It's like one of my goals for the new year is to get 6-pack abs. But if I were to do some crunches right now and not see any abs coming out, it would be a bit silly of me to say, oh, you know, why am I not growing on YouTube or why are my abs not coming out? Because you have to do it every day for several months before you see any results. And that consistency is what gives you the result rather than a super intense ab workout on day 1. Point number 2 is try and think about it in terms of systems. Now, this is a big thing that we teach in our course, the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. Again, if you wanted the free 7-day email course, hit the link in the video description. But it's really all about building a system because we've established that the way to grow on YouTube is by being consistent for a very long time. You then want to start thinking, okay, if I need to be consistent and put out 1 or 2 videos a week for the next 5 years, how can I build a system around that to make it easier for me to do? And at the start of our YouTube careers, what everyone does, and what I did, is you think 1 video at a time. You think, okay, what's this week's video? Okay, what's next week's video? And then another one. But then very quickly you realize that, okay, this is quite hard to sustain. And so you want to think about building a system in terms of how can I generate as many ideas for content as possible? And then number 2, how can I kind of refine these ideas and turn them into titles and thumbnails and hooks? Number 3, how can I sort of create these videos in parallel? Number 4, how can I find pockets of time throughout the day where maybe, you know, I've got a 10-minute break at work or in my lunch break where I can plan out a video that's going to be pushed out several months in advance? How can I plan out my content calendar so that I actually only have to film once and I can batch film maybe 5 videos in a row so that I don't have to go through all the effort of setting up the lights and camera and everything? It's all of this stuff around building a system. And if you want a book recommendation on that, you should check out The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. This is a book I've been recommending to all the students in our course, and everyone who's read it says that, oh my God, this book is absolutely amazing. It's just a great way of changing your mindset to thinking in terms of systems. And that, I would say, that's one of the books that's most changed my life and that has made publishing on YouTube a lot easier, because now instead of thinking of it as 1 video at a time, I think of it as a holistic, cohesive, coherent system. And finally, point number 1 is if you're thinking of getting started on YouTube, then just do it. You know, you could literally pause this video right now. You could get your phone out. You could switch on the recording, the camera, turn on selfie mode on your phone and be like, hey guys, this is my first YouTube video. You know, I was watching Ali's tips on getting started on YouTube video, and he was saying, to be honest, you should just kind of do it. And so this is it. I'm gonna start my YouTube channel, and this is video number 1. That video took me 11 seconds to film. And if you're starting on YouTube, you could literally do that. Like, pause this video right now, turn on the selfie camera on your phone, and just upload it using the YouTube app on your phone. It is that simple. Like, we all overthink this so much. Like, oh my God, my first video has to be good and has to be perfect, and what are people gonna think? But what we don't realize is that no one cares. No one's gonna watch your first video. Like, who gives a toss? Like, if it takes the average channel 152 videos to go between 1,000 and 10,000 subscribers, why do you think that video number 1 matters? It's just completely inconsequential. Video number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 30, 40, none of those videos actually matter in the long run. What matters is that you actually just get started and you realize that hitting that publish button on YouTube is not as hard as it originally seems. And there's that quote that I like, that, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. And so if you're thinking, oh damn, I wish I'd started YouTube 10 years. I wish I'd started YouTube 10 years ago. But if I didn't have a channel and I was watching and I'd watched to the end of this video, I would just get my phone out and film that video right now. In fact, if you're doing that, link it in the comments down below and I will subscribe to your channel and I'll be like your first subscriber for whatever that's worth. But I just need you to upload that very first video and then commit to publishing at least 1 video a week. So those were 10 tips on getting started on YouTube. You really don't need anything else. You just need to get started. But if you're interested in joining me on a live course where I teach a few hundred people about how to do this stuff with assignments and things and everything, and we teach you about the systems-based approach to growing your channel, then check out the Part-Time YouTuber Academy, link in the video description, along with my free 7-day email course, again, linked in the video description. Do you need a course to succeed on YouTube? No, absolutely not. It really is just about publishing content consistently, and there is absolutely nothing I teach on my course that you can't find out on the internet anyway. Check out the Video Creators podcast, check out the Video Creators YouTube channel, check out Think Media, they've got a fantastic YouTube channel. There are so many free resources online. So if you don't want to sign up to a course, that's fine. You can do the work yourself. But if you're the sort of person who benefits from accountability and having a community of people to go through the process with, on top of the content, that's all in one place, nicely packaged up for you, then you might like to check out the course. Whatever happens, once you start your YouTube channel, you're gonna need some tips for time management, which is why you should check out that video where I talk through my 8 top tips for managing your time so you can pump out that content consistently. Thank you so much, all the best with your channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.